Welcome to this episode of Wiki Walks, a short podcast devoted to some of the more intriguing and, who knew, articles that you can run across in the weird world of Wikipedia. I'm your host, Chris Grismer. If you're just listening for the first time, or you're a long-time listener, be sure to check out our Instagram page at username Wiki Walks Podcast. We post pictures that add a little extra context for each episode that you might find interesting. Hey, speaking of interesting, have you ever been knee-deep in a Billy Ray Cyrus song and asked yourself, why are there so many American-made trucks in America in comparison to all the foreign-made regular-sized cars? Also, if you're knee-deep in a Billy Ray Cyrus song, perhaps that's a cry for help. Well, the answer to that truck question is a little more complicated than you might at first believe. The main reason? Chickens. Yes, those dumb, delicious birds. Before the 20th century, chickens were actually a luxury item, mostly reserved for wealthy Europeans. Chickens were actually first domesticated for cockfighting rather than food. However, improvements in storage, refrigeration, advancements in chicken breeding, and the development of the so-called factory chicken caused chicken consumption to explode in the United States, and therefore the rest of the world. So, how on earth does this relate to the prodigious F-150 market in America? Well, I'm glad you asked. I realize you probably didn't ask, but you should have. The ever-confident American business machine got particularly cocky and produced so many chickens that they could then start exporting them to Europe in such high numbers that over 50% of all the world's exported chickens originated in the good old US of A. European farmers simply could not keep up with the much lower prices of these imported freedom birds. Many local poultry farmers accused U.S. chicken exporters of purposefully lowering the price of their birds below cost to drive out European chicken farms and monopolize the market, sort of like a chicken OPEC. Some accused the Americans of using arsenic to cause the chickens to gain extra weight, and some French cluckers asserted that American poultry consumption reduced one's virility. Unsurprisingly, in 1962, the EEC, the European Economic Community, instituted a tariff on imported chickens, hoping to slow down the tidal wave of deliciousness stemming from America's shores. Many Europeans were still reeling and recovering from World War II, and having to compete against dumb, nearly flightless birds was just one more thing they didn't need on their plate right now. These tariffs massively increased prices for imported chickens, and some countries went as so far to ban American chicken. Conversations got extremely heated between the U.S. and these countries, and even the Chancellor of Germany at the time, Konrad Adenauer, said he spoke more to JFK about stupid chickens than the consequences of the brewing Cold War. When the EEC refused to back down, new President Lyndon Baines Johnson came in pecking and instituted the so-called chicken tax, targeting brandy, potato starch, dextrin, and light trucks, forcing any country importing these products to pay a massive 25% tax on any item entering the U.S. If it seems odd to lump trucks in with those other items, it was strategic. At the time, Volkswagen was massively popular both at home and abroad, with their Beetle and the window-laden hippie vans, and they had started to produce some light trucks as well. Interestingly enough, the hippie van we all know and love was classified as a light truck. So if you ever wondered why they basically just up and vanished and disappeared after the 60s in the U.S., well, now you know why. People refused to pay the huge uptick in price after this tax was instituted. Because politics are gonna politic, it was later discovered that the head of the United Auto Workers Union agreed to delay a strike until after the 1964 election, if LBJ pushed this through, as the UAW had been fighting against VW for years. And an important clarification here is that the chicken tax was meant against all importers, not just European. This will be important to know if you've ever, opened your eyes while you're driving and see what other countries bring in a huge influx of cars to the U.S. While many manufacturers simply stopped selling their trucks in the U.S. altogether, it just wasn't worth the hassle. But some started to build plants in America so they wouldn't be considered exports anymore. Specifically Toyota, Nissan, and Honda, because the Ridgeline, let's just face it, it's just not a good-looking truck. Unless you want to be a sponsor of the show, then it's fabulous. However, some auto manufacturers tried to get around with some loopholes. shipping the cab and the box of a truck separately to be assembled later within the U.S. This loophole was removed in 1980. Also, some put seats in the bed to differentiate it from a normal truck. Anybody remember the Subaru Brat? That existed as a chicken tax loophole trick. Now you know. Some would assemble vans, including Ford, oddly enough, who manufactured their Prism vans in Turkey, to have full seating that would be imported and then have all their seats removed when they got here and turned into a cargo truck. That loophole was closed in 2013. This has been going on for a while. In the years since the chicken tax was passed, 3 of the 4 items have actually been repealed. But oh, isn't it our trucky day? The light truck provision still remains. Some critics, however, have noted that truck prices are artificially high and new developments stagnated because, frankly, American truck makers are so insulated against competition that it might end up hurting the consumer more than anything. And competition in these spaces would be hard, as American auto manufacturers, specifically Ford, GM, and Chevrolet, have essentially had a near 60-year head start on brand awareness and familiarity without having to compete against the rest of the world. So, there you have it. The reason you see way more F-150s and Chevys and then Dodges with terrible paint and truck nuts in comparison to foreign-made trucks like you would with every other sedan on the road is because America's greatest product after World War II was not freedom. It was the chicken. Bet you didn't know that.